My chauvinist.
Hi, I am here with Ms. Tracy, my practicum instructor. Thank you, Tracy, for meeting with me today
Oh, you're welcome.
at McDonald's, as you can tell. We're going to be talking about 10 open-ended questions that I wanted to ask you. She's such a great teacher, and I've learned so much from her. She's been working for Head Start for 23 years. So the first question is, why did you select teaching preschool?
As a young teenager, of course, you like to have some spending money, so I started keeping children in the neighborhood and working with them, and I just always felt very comfortable with children and their innocence versus being around a lot of adults. So with that, it's just that it was very natural with me, and I just wanted, and it's something that interests me, and the love and the innocence of children just made it all worth it.
Yeah, and you can tell it within your classroom how much you love doing what you do, so thank you for choosing this career. So how do you handle a behavior problem in the classroom?
Behavior problems can arise in many different situations depending on what type of children you may have, or if it's something as simple as two children not getting along with a toy. So you always have different types of methods. Usually you try to incorporate a lot of social emotional practices in your classroom. Role playing is another one, and just sitting down talking with both kids, getting both kids feelings of what had happened, because there's always two sides to every story. So once you actually sit down and talk with the children, and you kind of piece it and kind of let them work it out, but if it's just a behavior of a hitting, then you kind of go and redirect that very quickly. So it all depends on the situation of the behavior. We also incorporate letting them kind of work it out with themselves, but of course you're always there to intervene.
Yeah. And that's another point that you do such a great job in the classroom, is just getting both sides of the story and listening. And then sometimes you step back a little bit just so that sometimes these problems get solved with just the children themselves. But that's great that you intervene as well. So what is the most important part of the curriculum in early childhood, in your opinion? Do you think it's art? Do you think it's reading, math? What do you think?
All of it enhances learning, and you have to go with what the children's interest is, always learning through play. So, of course, center time is a very good time to actually do a lot of learning, but it's how you incorporate the learning. Like, for example, if you're in kitchen and you can say, well, how many strawberries do you have? Or if you're dealing with two different sizes, can you show me which one's the biggest of the bread, things like that. So even though they're learning, they don't realize they're learning because they're learning through play. Of course, with that being said, in early childhood also needs to be open-minded and know that they also need to have some structure to prepare them for kindergarten.
Yeah.
So there's many different ways in the learning, and probably the most important, I would say, is reading. Always asking open-ended questions, and they learn a lot from facts and things like that. Math is a big key in learning, and of course you always incorporate math in everything you do. So it's really a tough question there
Hard to decide
to pinpoint, because you do so much learning, even with art, the cutting, the fine motor, writing their name, things like that. So you're always doing those skills, but you're just making it in a fun way.
Yeah, that's a great point. It's hard to choose one, so we won't choose one. We'll just say that they're all important. How do you promote critical thinking and problem solving in the classroom?
That is one thing that, of course, teachers struggle with on a day-to-day basis, is trying to incorporate that. But you just find it more easier with practice. And like before you go outside, what would happen if the swing was broke? What could we do, or how can we fix it? It's just one example. Or getting in line. Let's see. You can do a math problem, A, B, and they'll be looking at you like, so you're always incorporating it, but it is also something that you have to really focus on and come, with time, with experience, it gets a little bit quicker with the thinking and open-ended questions, and the who-why questions are also important.
The open-ended questions, I love that. How do you integrate technology in the classroom?
Technology for certain programs may be easier than others. Of course, public school has really gone full blown with computers, tablets, things like that. Depends on the center itself and their finances. We incorporate with learning DVDs, like the letters and letter sounds. A lot of teachers are using their personal technology, like iPads, and doing a lot of educational things with those technology, and a lot of children are learning through technology. So it's a big part of the classroom.
Yeah, most definitely. I think a lot of schools and a lot of centers just wish they had that resource a little bit more, but we know sometimes with budget that can be difficult. So, what is your teaching philosophy?
Always try your best. That's very simple in everything you do, even as young adults. Always try your best. And that is one thing I was just with writing is before you even start, please try your best. So that is one thing, and always make things fun.
Yeah, I like when you have your walk-in time and you have them sign in, and you'll always tell them do your best. So that's really good. What advice would you give a prospect teacher like me?
I always enjoy it. I always love what you do. You're always will have your ups and downs, but the ups always outweighs the downs. Always, look at each situation the best way you can. And know that every teacher is unique and different, and that everybody learns in many different ways. And just have fun with it. And one thing about that is always have a good team. Always work together. Makes it fun for everybody. So.
Most definitely. What outside resources do you use to help your families?
Anytime a family has a need, we have a wonderful program with Head Start that we do have a family service worker that we can go and talk with. But if you don't have those resources, like a lot of programs don't, you try your best to redirect them with a situation that's dealing with finances or things like that. You try to direct them to that situation as best as you can.
As best as you can, yeah. Most definitely. Now, what do you, could you describe the methods and assessments you use in your classroom?
We use many different assessments. Of course, a lot of teachers come up with their own assessments. We use teaching strategies, which is your PROD assessments. We do observation with each child, where you actually write down what you have observed. We also have one that we use with our parents, that we sit down and do one-on-one to see where their readiness skills are at. So we incorporate all those learning tools within one.
Yeah, definitely assessing is one of those important key factors. Now, how would you address academic needs of struggling students? For example, I know in your classroom there's a lot of second language learners.
They do very well. A lot of our children that come in with a second language, they try their best, they actually follow. But if you are having one that's struggling with just not being able to follow along, you can do picture schedules. You can do a lot of picture cues. So sign language is another one that's becoming a really good tool with our children. But just having those cue cards for language. If a child is not learning at certain levels, we kind of pull them in their own little area and work one-on-one with.
Yeah, most definitely. And I love how you have labels throughout your classroom in Spanish, so that made me feel comfortable. Even in your
now we only have English and Spanish. We haven't done all the extended ones because you're seeing more and more children coming in different languages. But technology is a wonderful thing, so you can actually go online and look at it and things like that to do different languages. But we do focus on the language in English in the classroom. And a lot of us can speak very little Spanish, like the key words, but a lot of them do very well, and be surprisingly that they just fall right into it. That's not really, and they're speaking, they're trying so much. And a lot of our kids that came in that didn't speak English is actually speaking full sentences. So it's been a wonderful year with our children, and I really do appreciate everything you have done in our classroom.
Thank you.
And you have been a wonderful asset, and we really do appreciate it.
Thank you. Oh, I love her so much. Thank you, Ms. Tracy, and thank you, Mr. Williams, for giving me this opportunity, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you.